My dear friend Kirsten Tibballs is in the Everyday Gourmet kitchen, and that means we're baking. Today we're baking sponge. There's a lot to learn about sponge, isn't there?
There is a lot of critical points that we're going to go through with you.
I love the sound of that. What's first?
Eggs and sugar into the mixer with some vanilla and salt, and we want to whip that up till it's really light and fluffy. Don't take it off the mixer too early because it will collapse and then we have to start all over again.
No, we don't want that. And salt in. Okay. So lots of air. I'll take that stopper out. And it's going to change colour. It's going to be sort of pale in colour.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
So the more air you incorporate, the lighter it becomes in colour. So we want a really pale yellow colour when it's aerated.
My Auntie Iris makes the best sponges, and that's exactly what she says. A critical point is making sure air, lots and lots of air is key. So
the name Auntie Iris makes me think she knows what she's talking about.
She does indeed.
Let's stop it and take a look.
Okay. Ooh, light, fluffy.
Exactly what we're looking for. That looks good. Let's place it straight into the bowl.
Okay, I'll just take that out. Ooh.
So nice and light. You can see how it's gone quite pale. Now we do everything gently at this stage to retain as much of that air that we've incorporated as possible. And I know this is driving you crazy because I scrape out every bowl to the...
I know. Well, I don't like wastage, so I'm very happy with that. Great. And I'm going to let you do the folding because you have the light touch.
Okay, if you can sieve that in for me.
Sure can.
It's always good to sieve in the flour. The lighter it is, you're not going to knock that air out of your sponge.
And it's always better when you've got two people making the sponge,
Does make
right?
it a bit easier.
Sure does.
What are you doing on Sunday?
I'm baking with you, Kirst. Lovely.
Don't overmix it, just enough until the flour's mixed in. And just make sure you haven't got any pockets of flour that you've missed. So just give it another going over.
And you can almost hear it's the right sound for a sponge, right? When you can almost hear that it's just fluffy, fluffy. Is that the right word? You know what I mean.
I do know what you mean. Now I've got some melted butter here. This is going to make the sponge a little bit more moist, but I'm going to add some of the batter into the melted butter and then mix it through so it's a similar consistency, because if I pour the butter in, it's going to go straight to the bottom of the bowl and then I need to work it too much to incorporate it.
Yeah.
Is this a little bit too much for you, or you like this tip?
No, I would have just poured that straight in, but now I know that just gently adding that is key.
We want everything to be a similar consistency when we fold it through. Now the oven is preheated at 170 degrees Celsius and we're going to divide this between our 3 tins.
Okay, and we've placed a little bit of baking paper on the bottom for extra assurance. All right, let's get these into the oven.
Sponges are out of the oven. Now we've let them sit for a few minutes. Do you want to start whipping the cream?
Can do.
So we've got the bull of thickened cream, some vanilla we're going to put in there and whip it to a piping consistency.
Okay.
I'm going to turn these out.
And it's amazing how there's no rising agent in there and how they've really puffed up. That's just because of all that gorgeous air that we've added to the eggs.
It is nothing better than a light and fluffy sponge.
And it's a lot of cream, but this is a 3-tiered sponge cake.
You can take the baking paper off. Oh, that looks good.
Very good. Auntie Iris would be proud.
Actually, my Nana was very famous for her passionfruit sponge.
Was she?
It's given me a little bit of inspiration for this, yeah.
Can imagine.
Nana Molly.
Nana Molly and Auntie Iris, I think they'd get along quite well, just like you and I. Right, Kirst, I think this is about right. not want to over whisk the cream.
You did not, but if you do, don't panic. Just add a little bit of extra chilled cream to it, stir it through by hand, and it'll all come back together.
You always have the answers.
That is unless you've made butter. Now I'm going to bring this piping bag over and the cake stand.
All right.
If you can cut those passion fruits in half and put them into a bowl.
Can do. Love fresh passion fruit.
When you're filling a piping bag, always roll down the top of the bag to keep it nice and clean.
And passion fruit, cream, sponge cake. It's a real classic, isn't it? I mean, you could use strawberries if you like to.
But I think the classics are all coming back.
They sure are. I mean, even a little bit of lemon curd in there too could be
stop
nice.
it.
We're talking about
Stop it.
old-fashioned. I'll just take out all of this pulp. Speaking of Auntie Ira, she also had a passion fruit tree and she would serve her sponge like this. It's all about Auntie Iris today, isn't it?
Now you don't have to do the 3 layers. You can just do 2 cakes, but look at that. 3 stacked up is going to look very good.
Yes.
Now I'm piping, Justine. Would you pipe this or spread it out?
You know me, I would definitely just spread it out, but you're cursed, so you make it look extra special. If you've got a piping bag, why not try doing this just to take it up a notch?
So do the border and then we fill it in the centre. Last bit of cream going in the centre.
It's pretty impressive, isn't it? I mean, it's just gorgeous.
Thank you. Now, passion fruit, do you want to drizzle that on?
Yeah, sure. A little bit more.
A little bit more on top. And we've got some edible flowers here, which I'm just going to break off the petals.
And you've sort of kept with that theme, that yellow theme with those petals.
I have the passion fruit colour.
Passion fruit colour. Purple, yellow, just gorgeous. Let them fall and drop just like petals do so well.
So what do you think? Dessert? Is this an afternoon tea?
This
barbecue?
is definitely a cake that you would have for afternoon tea, for breakfast, after lunch, after dinner, a little midnight snack. This is just so beautiful. I've seen a lot of sponge cakes, but nothing as gorgeous as this. Kirst, I think Nana Molly and Auntie Iris would be very proud of this. You're the best.
Oh, thank you.